Boker Tov. Good morning. We continue with our 3-minute daily dose of Torah. Looking for a little bit at some of the mitzvot in the Parsha this week, Parshat Shoftim. We did a few days. We talked this, introducing us into the month of Elul. We're going to shift a little bit to some Parsha discussion. The Torah discusses in the beginning of Shishi, Perek Yutet, Pasuk Yud Daled, 19:14. This mitzvah that's placed before us, Lo tasig gevul re'acha asher gavlu rishonim v'nachlatcha asher tinchal va'aretz asher Adonai Elohecha noten lecha l'rishta. The discussion here is very clearly defined in the way it's first presented to us, in terms of the boundaries and borders between properties. And however the properties have been laid out, that's how they, you better not fiddle with them. Certainly not fiddle with them surreptitiously. So to translate the verse, do not encroach or maybe roll back the border of your neighbor, the ones that the early ones had set as the boundaries in the inheritance which you will inherit in the land which God your Lord gives to you as an inheritance. So what are we describing here? It seems that we're describing some sneaky person who, on a piece of property, which let's say it's an open field, how do you note when a property begins and a property ends? So you can have someone come and someone come out and spend thousands of dollars. The title company will bring them out and they'll do a full. I forgot the word you used for that. That's not a say of your property, and they'll tell you exactly where your border is. But otherwise, you have basically stakes that you put in the ground that make it clear. Okay, my property ends here, your property ends there. So the Torah is describing the possibility that you need a Torah prohibition against this type of action, which is a more specialized version of theft, where you will, in the middle of the night, let's say, go out and move these markers over a few feet. Maybe you'll do it a few times over the course of a long period of time. The person's not really realizing it, and that way you've encroached on their property and taken it for yourself. When I was a kid, we used to have a piece of property, the line between my neighbor and myself, and I guess my parents and their parents never fully agreed on where the line exactly was. So the way in which you kind of laid your claim or staked your claim was by cutting the grass there. So that was one strip of land that was cut twice a week, because we each try to establish our ownership of the property. But here they're talking about clear defined property, and the Torah says don't do that. Don't be drawn to do this special type of crime, which perhaps no one will ever notice. Tomorrow we'll continue to talk about the other applications of this phrase indeed. Wishing you all a good day.